Hey, cut it out. Cut it out. All right, so I would give praise, esteem, and honor to the Most High Elohim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. Pick it up at John, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have, in his name you receive me not. Another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another? Yeah, that junk got to be the last. I think that I will accuse you, the Abba. There's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. If you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? Proverbs chapter. No, the thing stopped. Proverbs 21 and 28. False witness shall perish, but the man that hears. Spent 2 days on it. You should know pretty rather swiftly. The word constantly translates. Translates to. If not, that is just, I'm just going to be honest with you, that is just outright despicable, deplorable, and unacceptable. That is correct. Valid. Mean valid. He just said one of them what it meant. No, it wasn't strength. It was everlasting, enduring, and of life, continual. That's what it means. So that's what we're looking at. Remember, that's what we're referring to. That the word was, the sentence says, Ish, Shema, words of victory. That's what we were looking at in Job 37. Thank you, Lord. That's got to be bad. Shalom, man. Come over here to Job 37. Job 37. That's it. Yep. Which we cannot comprehend. Great things do he, which we cannot comprehend. Let's look at comprehend. Now remember, that's yada. That's things that we do not know. So that's going to take us back. We're not going to. But what did he tell them in Matthew 13 about him speaking to the people in parables? What distinction did he make between his apostles and everybody else? He made a clear distinction between his apostles and everybody else. Yeah, but got to be a little bit more specific. That's what he said after the fact. Yeah. It was given for you to know, but they don't know. What you mentioned is after he said that. You know what I'm talking about? So comprehend the things that he was doing. We read that night when he said they could not understand the marvelous things that he was speaking of. Let's take a look at something in Matthew 16. Yeah, at this point, it can't be the signals. Or it's got to be YouTube. Tino. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came tempting, desiring him that it would be foul weather today for the you're aware of. Two of the words you familiar with, used for understanding. Well, one of them is B'nai, the word for understanding. The other one is Sakal, in regard to be acquainted with or to distinguish and to understand. You have Nun, Kaf, and Rosh for that. Those how you spell that. So when you look at having discernment, it's the ability to understand. See, when they seen Yahushua, they could not discern or understand that he was who he said he was. So I want you to hold. Telling myself a story about it. Okay. He said, but though he had done so many miracles before them, yet they believed not on him. That the saying of Isaiah the prophet might be fulfilled, which spake Yahuwah, who have believed our report, and to whom have the arm of Yahuwah. Isaiah said, he hath blinded their eyes, he has hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, or understand with their heart, and be converted, and I should heal them. These things said Isaiah, lest they should be put out of the synagogue, for they love the praise of men more than the praise of Elohim. Now I mentioned this right this here, and I shared it myself, right? I want y'all to come over here to Revelation 13, right? Because this is what's going to happen in the time of the beast when you have this false witness. Well, you capping, boy. You capping, boy. If I had a paper ball, I'd hit you dead in your nose. Dead in your nose. Be part of the Screen Actors Guild? Revelation 13 and 3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. Unto the beast. That's not he did. That wouldn't even who. That would who. Come over here, Wood. I don't sit right here. Johnny. Sit down. Make it 6. Sit down. Exodus 15 and 6. Your right hand, and it got what? The Nasat, or it got the victory. Now look at the next thing it said. It dashed the enemies in pieces. And this is all to bring stuff back to your remembrance. What does Psalms 110 say he would do with his enemies? Oh, no. He didn't say that in Psalm 110. Y'all know it. He'll make your enemies your footstool. And what did Paul tell you the last enemy that had to be trampled underfoot would be? And what did we just read last night? What he said in the law, which Paul quoted in Romans 16, that he would do what? Step on the serpent's head, smash him, crush him, defeat him. The enemy. What did we read last night in John? He said that the prince of this world has been judged, and he shall be what? Cast out, removed, discarded, flesh. If you live according to the spirit of Elohim, the enemy can have no power, and you only allow him to do it because you're going to work in the working of his ways and his world. That's it. And in the world, he has no power at all. What is him? And he will what? He will flee from you. Let me tell you something, man. I've been telling people this for years, especially a woman. Boy, if you want to see if a nigga righteous, be down with Yahuwah, boy. I bet a nigga get missing. If that ain't what he on, ain't no different. Say two can't walk together except they be agreed. And Yahuwah said, if you walk contrary to him, then he'll walk contrary to you. So if you, the only way of sitting and entertaining up is that then the third, he's gonna get away from you. What does the book tell you, right? He tell you, if a sinner's entice you to what? To not consent. So that would mean you would be resisting them. And if you're not consenting to this and still keep these people in your company. So you can't do both. See, you can't be of heaven and of earth. You're going to, and that's it. And when I say right-hand side, I mean you either over here with the sheep or you over here with the goats. But you can't straddle the fence. You know what I'm talking about? There is no straddling the fence means you're lukewarm, and that means he's going to spit you to say who is like unto the beast. It's the people saying that. That's disrespect. To Yahuwah you have overthrown them that rose up against you and sent forth your wrath, which has consumed them as stubble. And with the blast of your nostrils, the water were gathered together, the flood stood upright as a heap, and the depths were congealed in the heart of the sea. I will draw my sword, and my hand shall destroy them. Not just for reference point. Y'all remember, right? That he will make war with the saints, and he will overcome them. This is something that you have to have your mind also trained on as well. You're going to be killed. You are going to be. You have to be willing to understand that and still stand nonetheless. What did Yahushua tell you, right? Y'all know what he said, right? Don't fear him that can do what? Kill the body. But let me tell you something, man. Y'all seen movies where somebody shoots somebody and then they just keep shooting and keep shooting. Once you dead, you dead. It don't matter what they do to your body after you dead. Once you dead, ain't nothing else they can do. I wouldn't care if you were dead and they came back and shot you 45 more times. What difference does it make? You sleep. You ain't feel none of that. You're out of here. Any of y'all ever had somebody punch you in your sleep and you ain't know they hit you? Y'all done been to sleep. People been walking all around you, talking loud, farting. You ain't even know you were sleeping good. Death ain't no difference. What's going on out here? What's going on? I hope you got up on the first alarm clock. Sit down. Usually, this is verse 10. You did blow with your wind. The sea covered them. They sank as who was like unto you. Esteemed in Kadash, fearful in praises, doing wonders. See, now pause. Let me get a chance to say. Catch up. Now, look at the three that he said he is, right? He's glorious in holiness. He's fearful in praises, and he does wonders. Which of these elements do you read that the beast will try to imitate? Number one, you're going to see he's going to try to imitate the wonder of where you see the people coming in trying to praise him. That's why you see the statement of people saying, who is like unto the beast? Who? That he's God. Now, again, this is just us dealing with the elements of the false witness must perish. Are you going to burn in hell continually with flesh? You'll find out soon enough. You'll find out soon enough. Some dudes say you're just going to get in there and you're just going to burn. And then your body's going to go to dust and it's going to be over with. So you think. You're going to have the same body as people in the kingdom have. And you'll just be in there every day, burning with worms, gnawing at your flesh. Yes. That's how Yahuwah see fit to play that. You know what I'm saying? That's hard for people to capture in their mind, but that's what he's going to do. He never told you you was going to be a spirit. And that's what got what? Flesh and bones like you see me got. Oh, they're not ready for that. They're not ready for that. Next one, man. Come over here to Deuteronomy 33. Rama, what you doing? Deuteronomy 33.
Yanni. Down.
And 26. Deuteronomy 33 and 26. There's none like unto you, Elohim of Yeshurun. There's nobody like him. What did he say he ride upon? The beast ain't riding upon no heavens. I missed it. I want to get a couple words here for you. I skipped it. Right. First thing, who are y'all? How many of y'all are not familiar with the word Yeshurun? Yeshurun is another name for Yasharal. It means upright one. So Elohim of the best you know how to act. That's something we were just talking about not too long ago. The dude was talking about that on the screen. But no, it was a video I seen which was old, where a dude told a woman that he would not pay her bills because she was not his wife, and he told her if she wanted him to do those things, she would have had to earn them. And she was shocked at the fact that this man told her that she would have to earn those type of things. The reason why she was shocked is because a lot of women are told that you're entitled to that. And you're not entitled to that. Because a lot of young men are told that you're supposed to do that, but when you talk about doing that, yes, you have to earn that. There's certain things that you just don't get that type of thing because you have. Well, who's really taking the loss? You really taking the loss. He's not taking no loss. Because if he has the ability to do that, there's another woman that he can find who will actually do the things that is needed for him to do that. Because you cute, pretty, beautiful, whatever you think you might be. Oh no, baby, that's not gonna work. Cause guess what? Before you met this nigga, guess what you were doing? You were paying your bill. You know what I'm talking about? Your car went down. Who fixed it? You fixed it. So you can't expect this man to come through and be like, oh, since you my man, or you jumping up and down in my body, you supposed to do all those things. That's your fault. You trying to use your vagina for material gain and trying to give somebody the boyfriend experience in order to get that material gain. See, we don't want to hear that because this society don't tell us that. But if we went back 2,000 to 3,000 years ago, that's exactly what they would tell you. That you're a whore and a harlot out or make common your daughter, lest the land fall into whoredom. You should not let your daughter have that type of mindset. Because y'all already know how it went. You went from your daddy's house to your husband's house. That's how that went. You didn't get a chance around here to sample this and sample that. You went from daddy's house to your husband's house. See, why wouldn't you? If you took a nigga to your dad and your daddy said you're not fooling with that nigga, would you leave him alone? Does he need to let you know exactly why, or is his word just enough? So that means you wouldn't do it if he didn't give you detailed reasons to your life. I'm just because it's the reason why I'm asking this here, because it's going parallel to something else. If they told you leave down there alone right now, will you leave alone? Why not? What about your daddy? And people to leave alone, you still fool with him even though he done put his foot down and said not to do it. That's why I asked you that, because didn't he tell you don't love the world? I'm not in it. Didn't he tell you certain people? Didn't we just read last night that somebody is contrary to the gospel that you received to mark them and do what? Avoid them. That man even went so far to say if somebody brought another gospel to let them be damned. And when I say that, that ain't Paul's. Was he not cursed? So that's where that come from. Paul just didn't come up with that on his own. That's the basis of that is from the law. Somebody came and brought another gospel. He cursed him and said, y'all leave him alone. A young girl, there should be no one like unto your father. That means your father's rules, his word, and his judgment. No, I got you, man. I understand. At this point, I think it's the laptop or it's YouTube. I said, I've never seen that before in my life. Talk about single mothers get told they should choose better. I say, well, I done seen dudes get told they need to choose better too. I don't know why people be on here thinking about don't nobody say nothing to no. I know my homeboy mama had Sloan, man. I know my homeboy mama told him to leave his baby mama alone before he got her pregnant. You know what I'm talking about? And I know that dudes are telling me like, bro, why you was even fooling with that girl like that, bro? What's wrong with you? You know what I'm talking about? A woman can play the victim and say, what you mean I ought to choose better? Exactly that. Everyone ought to choose better. You know what I'm saying? If you got in a bad situation, you'd have to look at yourself, because horrible women to have children from. See, you don't see women talking about they go to court to fight to see their kids. Men have to spend money to fight to see their kids. Why they spending money with that woman in child support to provide for a child that she won't let him see? But she mad for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to have that conversation. When in reality, according to Elohim, the child is the man's. The child does not belong to the woman, because that's not your seed. Though you may have carried the child of Christ and you belong to Mashiach because he is the word, meaning he is the seed. You belong to him. You don't belong to yourself. Because you can't create yourself and be in a, you know what I'm talking about? That does not happen. That's why it says that there'll be enmity between who? And the woman, and then notice said the woman's seed. The woman don't have a seed. You know what I'm talking about? The woman brings forth the seed. But the seed belongs to the man. So see, but that's the difference of the society we live in. They have made you believe that the child belongs to the woman and that men wouldn't want to take care of their children. Talking about if you put a man in a woman's role, he'll fold. Who gets over stress? That's why they don't handle it well. Look at she knows my show like. With that. That's not the negative. That's not a negative. That's what the man is for. It's what we're for, to help them. How many of you women, you get married or want to get married, decide to get married, that if your husband had a business, I want another man to tell my old lady what to do. I'm the only man gonna tell her what to do. You know what I'm saying? She don't need to go to somebody else's job and let the white folks stress her out. And I gotta come home and deal with that. Because she's stressed out with dealing with these people, but most people don't realize there's certain minority classifications that women can get. They give her a job, they cut her a salary, they go out for dinners, they write it off on their taxes, say it's a business meal. See, most black folks don't even understand all that. They give a woman a job in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Y'all be wondering, I want to go on a date. White folks like that. But see, we caught up with the illusion of looking like certain things. When he was schooled to get specific skills that's going to benefit the family business. They'll send her to school in a heartbeat. And guess what she gonna do? She with it. She with it. You know what I'm talking about? And guess because she with it, because you contribute to what he got going on, so he is more than glad to do so. A lot of black women don't want to do that. They be like, what about my hopes and dreams? Well, what about your hopes and dreams? It sounds like a wicked thing. When I say that, meaning somebody who come to you and then you saying, what about my hopes and dreams? What I told you, if you did his will and you asked anything of him, what did he say? It would not be restrained from you if it was according to what? His will. Is that not what he said? So show me the difference. Where is the difference? There is no difference. But we've been taught, I don't want to labor this person here. I want to be a part of it. Why we cannot really serve Elohim wholeheartedly, because you don't know how to be a part of something. You want to be a part of something but separate at the same time. And that is impossible. You can't be a part of Yahushua and separate from him at the same time. You can't say you in him, but then you're doing your own thing. And then expect him to take that when you bring that to him. You have to know how to work in the framework of a team. You have to know how to be able to understand. When he wins, you win. And if you contribute to his success, he will contribute to the comfortability that you desire. And is that not what Yahushua sees? See, we know the difference when you deal with the flesh. People are scared to take a chance. You're scared. Life is all about risk. The only thing you guaranteed in life is death and taxes. Everything else is a risk. Everything else is a risk. You're going to be stagnant and you're going to be right where you're going to be at for the entirety of your life. Can't be scared to take no risk. Can't be. And I take that back. Besides death and taxes, serving Elohim, that ain't no risk. Only thing you risking is losing the world and losing friends and family. That's not a risk. In life, you have to take calculated risk. The risk, something else. If you look at a man's character and you identify this that they're across that sure thing, he ain't gonna want to fool with you. He ain't gonna want to fool with you. Because once he is sure thing, his level has risen. And he gonna want a different caliber of woman. And he not gonna have that care for you as the nigga who, you know what, I'm gonna ride with you and see where it goes. Yeah, he gonna ride with you because nigga ain't gonna trust you, especially none of these niggas. They don't have the right mindset, so they're not gonna trust you. Or he gonna be a simp and you ain't gonna want him. Just because you got money don't mean you're a man. Deuteronomy 33 and 26. I meant to get that ride that heaven in the sky. Ron said he couldn't deal with that junk. I mean, it's doing it on my side, man. So I don't know if it's this the third location that's doing that. So it could be the laptop. No, what happens when you play it back is when it's live, it takes out live. So it takes it out. What I said. You know what I'm saying?
You use your phone to read? Use your phone?
Huh?
You use your phone to read, or you just use the phone?
I use the phone. Yeah, you told me about that, and we ain't never put that junk on. I don't know what's up with this junk here. At this, but just don't let me forget, because you told me that the last time, and I forgot. I'll take a different spot on that. So at this point, I think it's the laptop. It can't be the signal. I can't say 3 people Wi-Fi bad. I don't know what's up with that junk. If it's not that, then you two the police watch. What nobody watching us, boy? We wasn't moving that much doggone work.
Yeah.
At the house. And he ain't calling. No, I said he was out of town. That boy definitely out of house. Boy said them people trying to flim-flam him. And he was like, man, y'all told me I wasn't gonna have to work on no Saturdays. I'm like, you technically, they don't work on Saturdays, like certain holidays, and put the trash back. You know what I'm saying? But then that's why I put that article in there. They say the trash pickup in the city just horrible all the way around the border. People just, they say Republic is horrible, but they say they got to go out and say, I'd have been out there, because I go out there to that dog. Some trucks, you'll be sitting in that line for an hour. You know what I'm saying? I'm not waiting out. I got things to do. And they say that because we got some other stuff in regards to riding on heaven. We ain't got nothing else we need to use. Verse 27. The eternal Elohim is your refuge. He are the everlasting arms. He shall thrust out the enemy from before you and shall say, destroy them. Yasharal shall then do us in safety. And also his heavens shall drop down dew. Happy are you, O Yasharal. O people saved by Yahuwah, the shield of, and you shall tread upon their high places. I noticed this here, right? Not only that, this with the feast, but all of these people, you'll find out that they were liars. You're going, you know what I'm talking about? All these gods and all this stuff these people got on their lives, but these people don't know their lives because, well, that's not your culture, boy. That's not your culture, boy. Ain't no black folks right here talking about no wheels of light. That don't belong to you. That's somebody else stuff. But see, we take that stuff and be like, see, they want to keep that from you because they don't want you to grow. Ain't nobody trying to keep that from you. Who you ever seen? Don't you learn about them chakras? Ain't nobody never told you that. Niggas walking around burning sage. That don't do nothing for you, boy. That ain't getting no spirits out your house. Boy, don't you know the demons and devils laugh at that? Boy, niggas a real fool if you think burning smoke gonna make Satan get up out your house. That's you stupid as you look. Because if you think a demon worried about smoke, let me tell y'all something, man. Hold on, let's jump pause. Let me tell y'all something, man. Don't the book tongue inside got to present themselves before Elohim? And you think that's if the smoke in heaven ain't run an unclean spirit away, nigga, your sage don't probably smell like burning crack in her skin. Where you at? Then sit on your butt and worry about you. Quiet, boy. Now I'm mentioning that for a reason. Well, you know the only thing the unclean spirit go away? The name of the Lord. The name of the Lord. You can do all that. And guess what? Satan still gonna torment your black behind. Most people be talking about they trying to get the unclean spirits out when the unclean spirit is them. And you know why they spirit unclean? Because just like the Lord told you, it ain't gonna go into a man that defile him. What comes out? Your heart's unclean. So that's why you got all that stuff going on to you. You do evil, the Lord gonna evil. You want to blame it on all this other stuff. Like we done talked about this before. What's a nigga favorite line? The devil show is busy. The devil ain't clocked in. He don't do nothing. See, they got this man in. Y'all do know what the devil's works is, right? Y'all know what he does and how he does it. Who don't know how he does it? Why you don't know? You don't know either. Well, this is number one, right? Satan. You know what Satan means, right? Many times we done said it. You don't pay attention to class. You have to say. Huh? No, you an educated woman, ain't you? You went to college, didn't you? Oh, you did? Oh, so you're not an educated. I'm not an educated man. You got to have a college degree technically to be considered an educated person, as far as society is concerned. So you could be an intelligent person, but society wouldn't consider you to be educated if you don't have a degree. Am I lying? I'm not lying. I mean, ain't no shame in it. I don't mean you're not intelligent, but society is educated if you didn't say Mr. Charlie gave you your degree. Who in here can say they're educated? There's several of you niggas that stand and say, I ain't got a degree, nigga. I finished. I finished, nigga. Adversary is just an opponent. That's no different when you look at boxing or sports. That's your adversary. That's your opponent. Devil, what does that mean? I just said that a couple weeks ago. Slanderer, whisperer, accuser, also a tempter. So all Satan does is slander. That's in heaven, so they ain't got nothing to do with you. Accuse, which that's in heaven, they ain't got nothing to do with you. But the things that he's an opponent, that goes back to what we were looking at with that prince of Persia stopping to tempt people and try to be an opponent to get you to do what you do in heaven. That's all. When you read the text, when Saul had an evil spirit, what it said happened to him? He was tormented. Every time you see somebody in the New Testament, they had an unclean spirit in your house, they gonna do this and do that. Number one, if there was an unclean spirit anywhere near you, best believe you would know. Most of the time, what people call unclean spirits and people is people with poor, evil, rotten dispositions. And that's it. People who just have bad dispositions. I say, boy, I've been to prison, boy. I've been locked up with young kids who committed murder. What you think? Y'all think a little kid can be evil? You know why you know they can be evil? Because the word said a child is known by his doings, whether he be good or whether he be evil. Because, boy, some people born evil. Right? It's just in them. It's in their nature. They're disagreeable. They adversarial. They just are the devil. And it is what it is. Calm down, boy. Calm down. Calm. Let's move on. I don't think we got that. Psalms 35. Psalms 35 and 5. We don't want Psalms 35 and 5. That's a little bit. Verse 9. Psalms 35 and 9. No, that's a hard. Well, a lot of them boys need to be right where they at. 5 months ago, just locked him up. They had him locked up for something else, just hit him off with that body because they knew he had did it. You know what I'm talking about? What you think you gonna kill somebody and get 2 years and get out? Because you young? Talking about rehabilitated. I said, who told you prison was for rehabilitation? I said, you talking like somebody ain't never been to jail. Because prison is a warehouse. Then you're gonna go out here and work, you're gonna eat your plate, you're gonna go to this dorm, you're gonna go to sleep, you're in, and you're gonna do it however long your stay is. So here's a dude I knew, he was 24 years old. The time you thought he was supposed to get. I was in prison 16, 17 years old before. Get what they did. Gave him a whole gang of time and sent him on his way. And I was a white boy. They ain't care nothing about he was white. Go ahead and get out. Remember, they don't give white folks no time. He said, you're lying to me. What you think me can give? You know what I'm talking about? I rid of him though. One thing about Duval County, boy, unless you know somebody or you real white, or they don't get rid of you. You got to know somebody. You old trailer park trash, little, you know what I'm talking about? Little average white boy, nigga white boy, no game with you, man. They gonna give you 10, 15, 20 years, but say I'm gonna holler at you. Now, of course, you gonna get that time before he do. If you get the same, man, I've been around some dudes, boy, like, boy, that boy, they evil, boy. I'm not being around that dude. I'm finna get from around him. Some of y'all got family members, you know, but that nigga evil. They do things that ain't right consistently and have a heart to do it with no shame and no regard. Nigga, you evil. See, we ain't talking about stubborn. See, there's a difference between stubborn and evil. Somebody stubborn, they just hard-headed, they don't listen. Somebody who evil, who you love, you can genuinely say, boy, that nigga evil. You know what I'm talking about? That'd be a hard pill to swallow when you go to picking up that word and you realize people you. I ain't talking about just knowing that they evil in the sight of Yahuwah, like because they doing things that he don't approve of. I'm talking about like this nigga really evil. Like this person is really evil. You know, a lot of black women just really evil because they've been taught to be disagreeable. You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes you more. And we're talking about being disagreeable, cooperate and be a part of something. Trying to exert dominance or dominance does not need to be exerted. It's not just intrinsically that this one, and now his son grows up to be evil. That's not your son. I just want you to change the thought process of what evil is. It's more than just killing or sexual immorality, if you would. It's the ability to cooperate and to be agreeable to something. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get all that, you notice this here. I ain't gonna mess with you. I remember when you did it. How many of y'all, when you heard that word, you just it back? We know you did because you called me several times. You sure? I don't know about it. And the only thing you were worried about was dog hair. That's the part that tripped me out. You weren't worried about nothing else but dog hair and camelback. I'm like, this nigga. That's all she would worry. She wasn't worried about my life. She wasn't worried about nothing. You weren't worried about no yam rubbing. You weren't worried about getting drunk, getting high, food. Yes. You don't know what it was. They told you would get made. So all you know what they told you. They told you it was Remy. They told you it was Brazilian. All you know, that could have been man testicle hairs. You don't know. And you like to say nothing else. Yeah, I was going to say that, but I won't leave that out. You wasn't worried about nothing else but nigga worried about crime too long, because that's all she worried about. I said she ain't worried about nothing else. She ain't give no objections to nothing else but crown dog hair. Sometimes be like to say, so you mean to tell me my whole life a lot? That's what a lot of women come with. They be mad about everything else. They don't even leave with shit. This nigga led with weed. I said, yeah, she'll be all right. A lot of them be like this. So you mean to tell me about their favorite holidays? About Thanksgiving, hating their whole family. Talk trash about them when they. Why even take yourself through all that? You don't like the people. Psalm 35. 35 and 9. And my soul shall be joyful in Yahuwah. It shall rejoice in his salvation. My bones shall say. I want you to look what it said. All my bones shall say, Yahuwah, who is like unto you, which deliver the poor from him that is too strong from him. Now, Paul, that's where you take this look at Yahushua, right? Take him from the hands, and he not deliver him from those who were stronger than him, and sought to spoil him. So, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, and doing wonders. These are all the things that the man who hears will speak constantly. He's calling somebody at the door. I look like little Mike. One more, man, and then we out. Go back and get what we need to get. Psalms 89. Or maybe it was 2 more. Psalms 89 and 5. Run DMC. What's up? Hello, yeah, how about that? Hey, little Muffin. Don't come over here with that. Tuck your lip in. Do know the next step, you're gonna fall and hit your head. You wanna hit your head? Well, don't do that then. And the heavens shall praise your wonders, O Yahuwah, your faithfulness in the congregation of the Chesed. For who in heaven can be compared unto Yahuwah? Who's the only person in heaven can be compared unto Yahuwah? His Father, because he said, when you seen my Father, you see Elohim is greatly to be feared in the assembly. Yahuwah, like unto you, or to your faithfulness round about you. So now let's look at those two components. Who is strong like Yahuwah? Who's faithful like Yahuwah? And you see the blasphemy and what the people out there screaming, talking about who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him. And now you understand the great level of disrespect that the people will open their mouths and say. That's disrespect. A high level of disrespect. Psalms 113. Psalms 113 and 1, if you would. Hallelujah. Praise, O you servants of Yahuwah. Praise the name of Yahuwah. Bless the name of Yahuwah from this time forth and forevermore. From the rising of the sun to the going down of the same, Yahuwah's name is to be praised. Yahuwah is high above all nations and is esteemed above the heavens. Who is like unto Yahuwah Elohim, who dwell on high, who humble himself to behold the things that are in heaven and are in earth? He raised up the poor out of the dust and lift the needy up out of the dunghill, that he may set him with princes and even with the princes of his people. Y'all know what this is referring to, so we can be brief and go back to what we're talking about. Number one, and say, who is like unto Yahuwah that can resurrect from the dead? Then he turned around and say, who is like unto Yahuwah that can set you, because it doesn't say set him with, set with princes. And then it say with the princes of his people. So now here is the question. Who are the princes of his people? Look, Johnny, for 200, can you tell me who the princes of his people are? You're leaving one out. But it's correct enough. He's an apostle himself. So his apostles, is he not? Do we need to verify that? Let's verify that in Matthew chapter 19. Let's verify that in Matthew chapter 19. Then y'all know what Revelation 3 say, right? He that overcome will be set down as he sat where? In his father's throne. Well, let's look at Psalm 19 say, right? Matthew 19. Let's verify that. Matthew 19 and 27, if you would. Real quick, like. I'm gonna bust you in the head with this bag of niggas. That's goofy. Then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed you. What shall we have therefore? Yahushua said unto them, truly, truly, I say unto you, that you which owns, judging the 12 tribes of Yasharal. And what did he say that he'll take that man from that pit and that dunghill and do? Set him with princes. Matter of fact, the princes of his people. So this is something that the beast cannot and will not do. That's why he's false witness and he will perish. Let's turn to Job 37. We have a lot in Job 37. Elohim doing great things which cannot be comprehended. But Paul, let me take one more look at something so you can see that he was doing great things that can't be comprehended. Let's look at Luke 24 and 25. Take that in the kitchen. Sit at the table. Yanni. Give me back off. Give me back off. Hey, you don't have to touch me. What? What? Yeah. So you ask somebody where the broom is instead of looking for it. Do you live here? So you wouldn't know where the broom was, would you? Common sense would tell you to ask someone who lives here where the broom is. So that's what you need to do. You know who house this is, right? Gonna ask them. Luke 24:13. And behold, two of them went the same day to a village called Emmaus, which was from Jerusalem about 80 furlongs. And they talked together of all the things which had happened. And it came to pass while they communed together and reasoned, Yahushua himself drew near and went with them. But their eyes were holden. And one of them, whose name was Cleopas, answering, said unto him, Are you only a stranger in Jerusalem? Have you not known the things which are come past there in these days? And he said unto them, What things? Concerning Yahushua of Nazareth, which was a death and have crucified him. But we trusted that it had been he which would have redeemed Yahshua. And besides all this, today is the third day since the John 20, right? Did they know the scripture said that he would be resurrected from the dead? But did he not tell them that? Yeah. That John 20:9. They did not know the script said that this would happen. They did not know and understand what was being said to them of what he would do. Verse 22. Yea, certain women also of our company made us, they had seen a vision of angels who said that he was alive. Certain of them which were with us went to the sepulchre and found it even so as the woman had said, but him they saw not. Then he said unto them, O fools, and slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Ought not Mashiach to have suffered these things? And all the scriptures are things concerning himself. So guess what that means he went and did? Caused them to know those wonders. But why was he able to cause them to know those wonders? Because he heard the word and he spoke life. He spoke the victory. Because he kept telling them, I'll be killed and I'll be back on the third day. So just chill. But you know, they're not you have to sit there and think about that in your mind. Could you really be able to comprehend that? If he telling you that and you ain't never seen or heard of anything like that before in your life? Let's come back to Job 37. Be quiet. For he saith to the snow, Be you on the earth. Be quiet. For he say to the snow, Be you on the earth. Likewise to the small rain. And to the great rain of his strength. He seal up the hand of every man that all men may know his work. Y'all remember the word for seal, right? Katham. To affix a seal, right? To lock up. Cot, tow, and mean. You can go ahead with it. Cot. So you know that's Yod. And for man, you got Adam. So he seals up the hand of the sons of Adam. Now I'm going to run over here to Revelation 13 while you're thinking on that cot, tow, and mean. Hey. Yeah. Stop playing, boy. Revelation 13 and 11. While y'all thinking on cot, tow, and mean. Seal. Affix. What? Revelation 13 and 11. I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and spake as a serpent. He exercised all power over the first beast before him, and caused so that fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do. To the beast, which had a wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, say that he had the mark or the name according to the text. Because I'm saying this in the context of niggas thinking this vaccine is the mark of the beast. No. What you say? No. What you say? What you say? What the who say? Theirs didn't say nothing.
His mom says.
Oh, we have to say, and then I'll let that be known. Huh? Yeah, what? I can't hear you.
You should have looked at that. I forgot.
Got to have anything that happens first. What has to happen first? That's what happens first. He was saying that the covenant get made. The mark is the covenant. So before the mark of the beast comes, the first beast gets a deadly wound and is healed. Then to the beast, do wonders so you'll believe in the beast. Order. Nothing about a vaccine, nothing about a disease. Everything is tied to an individual. Remember this. What does it say that man will have power to do? Understand dark sentences. What does it say that this man will do? The reason why I keep stressing that is when that vaccine comes and no mark of the beast comes, who say that they speak in this man's name. Because what they're saying is going to happen is not going to happen. There is no mark of the beast and no vaccine because it has to be a conscious choice. The mark of the beast is something that you're desiring to take, not something you're done. There's no repentance for you. You will be tormented day and night. Why would it? What type of God do you think Yahuwah is that he would torment somebody who took something not know they were taking? That's unjust. That's unrighteous. You went in there thinking you were getting a vaccine for a virus. But now you got the covenant of the beast in you, and I'm going to send you to hell. Now let's sit back and look at it this right here, right? Beast in the field. That's why he's called the beast. What are beasts usually done? What does the book say? Don't be like he say people who without understanding are what? Brute beasts. They lack understanding. You got to put bricks and bridles in their mouth and take them which way to go. They can't go on their own. But I want you to just understand that point. That before the mark of the beast comes, a man takes a deadly wound and is healed. And remember, what does it say that idol is going to do? Speak, talk, and be alive. And what does our law say about idols? What they not? They dumb. They can't talk. They can't breathe. They can't do nothing. This is the stuff we supposed to know. We ain't supposed to fall for that. Remember, right? What does our law say about a mark in the hand? Does our law tell us about it? Just tell me if you don't know that. I don't sit here and lie to me. To bring forth the information right then, and in reality, you don't know it. Not meaning that you don't never heard it or learned it. It means you don't know it comes to mind. There's a lot of stuff that I know and can't remember. That means I don't know it. Mark in the hand. You know what our law say about a mark in the hand? To a sin. It's in the law, but it's not Deuteronomy 4:6. Not in our law. It's in our law though. Do you remember what it said in our law about a mark in the hand? What about you, sir? You know, I'm talking to you, Stanley. That's part of it.
Is this what you're talking about? Deuteronomy 6, verse 8 said, "You shall bind them for a sign upon your hand."
So, now, what you were, we're talking about Exodus 13. Y'all forgot? Remember what he said in Exodus 13? Exodus. You looking like I used to see the Jewish people in Brooklyn all the time.
Yeah, I was saying what is that for?
What, that box on their head? They stupid. That's a stupid box. Because what he was talking about is binding as a frontlet. Let's look at it when he was talking about, because I wasn't talking about putting Deuteronomy 6. I wasn't talking about walking around with a box on your head. That's what Jewish people do.
Yeah.
See, 6 and 6. See, that's why, well, 6 and 4. This is why I say yours is different, because it's not necessarily wrong. It's just a little different. And we're going to see how it's a little different, and it still go along with what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? See, Exodus 13 is more specific. Only because it's relating for you to remember Passover. And what do you get the mark of Yahuwah in your head for? Because you acknowledge that Yahushua is your Passover. You know what I'm saying? Because he's your liberator. Say that he's that one. That's why I say this one here is not. You shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart, all your soul, and all your might. Been around here for a while. You should remember. He said, you shall teach them when you see. No, not the apostles. Do you know Sade? Do you know? You looking at me like, nigga, how dare you ask me such a thing? Why you don't know? Because you ain't never heard it before. That's why. We're going to take you in the back. Put you on punishment. Caleb, when did he teach his people, his sons, when he was sitting in the house? No, that's the same thing he said. What about you, Michael? When did he teach his sons? His sons, because that's a different. Michael, you know when he taught his sons in the house? Number one key component, it said, teach them while you sit in your house. Well, where was it? His house is the temple. I heard you say Jerusalem, but you ain't say it out loud. I heard you back there. You said it real soft. How it don't make sense? Shoot, you ain't talking loud enough. Did anybody else hear? Because that's all I heard.
I ain't hear that either.
And that Jerusalem was a whisper.
I ain't hear that at all.
Y'all got telepathy.
Ain't that good? But you taught him in the house. Remember, you say I was always in the temple teaching, and you never laid hands. By the way. So when is that when he walking by the way? Which one is that? His forth is the Lord's testimony. Was he not walking around preaching in the street, going from spot to spot? Now the next one, when you lie down, there you go right there, Callie. That's preaching to the spirits in prison. Because when he did that, we just read that in Luke 24. When he resurrected from the dead, he said he started in Moses and the prophets and expounded in all the scriptures and things concerning himself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? So them people walk around with that box on their head, they're special type of stupid. You know what I'm talking about? Because remember, right, what he's telling you to do, he came and did. Because you can't teach your sons while you lying down. What you gonna teach them while they in the bed? Son, read my mind and read John chapter 5. No. That's not you, baby. That's not you. That's about somebody else. He said, you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. Let's look at frontlets, right? The word is tofa, fa, and it's a band. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Come over here to Matthew 23 if you know. What may I do for you? Can I help you? What do you want? Why do you call me? What do you want? I ain't got no crayon. I got crayon. Matthew chapter 23 and verse 1. There's also a fillet for the forehead. But that's why they, and I guarantee if you open up that little box they walk around on, I bet it ain't no law in there. They just got a barrel on their head. That would have looked like a little small little barrel, small little box. That was it. Then spake Yahushua to the multitudes and to the disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do. But do not after their works, for they say and do not. For they bind heavy burdens upon men. They bind heavy burdens, grievous to be borne, and they lay them on men's shoulders. But they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. But all their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their garments. So that was one of the things that they did in that time to be seen. So back then, if they did walk around with one of those on their forehead, they would make it large as possible because they would be like, look at me, I'm righteous. You don't see how wide my fringes is and how big my phylactery is? I got to be just. Whole time they heart black. Whole time they heart black.
Also, I look at it like what he said, you shall buy those on your head. Your head won't you shall be a your eyes in front of your mind. So your eyes should be produce action.
But you in covenant with it. See, look at the word bind right here, right? It's kashar. It's to be in a league together, to conspire, to be bound up. And you got Kushan and Raj. So what does that tell you? You're paired to the last Adam. You see how that worked? You paired to the last Adam? Because what did he not say that you've been separated or you're protected by the covenant of the Ruach? Because that's what the new covenant. Now, he didn't promise us life. The first covenant, what were you promised? He didn't promise you the land, and that was it. That was it. When you look at what he promised to Abraham, he said, I'll give this to your seed and your seed after you. And then he came to Isaac, and he confirmed that oath. And he came to, what's his name? Jacob, and he confirmed that oath. And when he sought Moses out, what was the only thing that he kept telling them that they was going to do? Go to a land flowing with milk and honey. That's all he promised them. Because every time he took, like what we read in Deuteronomy 30, he said, if you don't choose life, you're going to get put off this land. That's all he promised him. But when he came back the second time, and you read Jeremiah 31, what did he promise you? He said, I put my law in your mind and in your hearts and in your inward parts, and in your sins and iniquities I will remember no more. So he promised you remission of sins and the Ruach HaKodesh on the second time, because he can't promise you the land because he had already done that. And he wasn't going to break his word to Abraham. The land is already yours. You're only not on the land because of you, not because of him. But he already promised that. So considering that he already promised that, he promised you something better than what he promised you the first time. And what did he promise you by being paired to the last Adam? He promised you that you would be in your Jerusalem, and Jerusalem would be as what? The paradise of Elohim. That he would place you in New Jerusalem or the Garden of Pleasure or the Garden of Eden and be with him. Your forefathers didn't get that. That's not what he promised them. That's why we got a lot of back and forth and debate amongst us now, because we don't really know what and when and to whom he promised anything and mailed it as if this is just an all-encompassing promise. He never promised them eternal. Tell me where he promised Abraham eternal life and everything he promised. Where did he promise that to Jacob? Where did he promise that to Isaac? When did Moses go to the people and say you would live forever? When did he ever go to them and do that? When did Yahushua son of Nun, when he brought him in the land, so anytime those men prophesied of that, it was be for something of what in the future. But when Yahushua came, what did he speak constantly? Everlasting life, everlasting life, everlasting life, everlasting life. And everybody who came after him, what did they say? Same thing. See, that's a harsh one because a lot of brothers will tell you we're not in the new covenant right now. Is that correct? How many of you have heard that? But what did he say in the new covenant it would do? Your sins and iniquities I will remember no more. So this is the reason why I say that. If the new covenant is not in effect, dudes don't need to be preaching no word, and they don't need to be baptizing nobody. Because at that point, you need to wait for the Lord to come to you. Would you agree? Because that means everything you're doing before he comes is for nothing. I mean, ain't nobody getting resurrected from the dead. That means can't nobody say they got his spirit in them either. And that means everybody can sin. And you're not going to be condemned for it. This means you can't condemn no Christian. You can't condemn the street dude. You can't condemn the rich man who's defrauding people. You can't condemn none of them people. Because your sins ain't remitted, so everybody in the same spot that they were before Yahushua came. So what you condemning them for? But if the new covenant has came, and the Ruach is being given, and sins being remitted, that means somebody going to hell. And that's why dudes don't like to say that it's in effect. Because that means there's going to be accountability, retribution, and condemnation for your disobedience. Sit down and be still. And if you go to pouting, I'm going to pout my fist right upside your forehead. Is that what you like? I wouldn't like it either. Come over to the 13 for informational purpose. Hold on, I'm sorry, hold on. I want you to get signed because that sign is oath. And you know what oath is, right? Y'all remember what that word means? That means it's a signal, a sign, a distinguishing mark for remembrance, a token, olive, and tile. So when you sit back and you look at it, right, where you bind it for a sign upon your hand, it's a sign of what? Of that ruach. Because when we read in Ezekiel, where did he put the sign at in the men? In their forehead. They were sealed in their forehead, was it not? Exodus 13 and what, 11? 13 and 7. Stop playing, boy.
Hey.
You won't get popped. Pop, pop, pop. Goes my nine. Exodus 13 and 7. Unleavened bread shall you eat 7 days. There shall no unleavened bread be seen with you, neither shall leaven be seen with you in all in your quarters. And you shall show your son in that day, saying, this is done because what Yahuwah did unto me when I come forth out of Mizraim. It shall be a sign unto you upon your hand, and a memorial between your eyes, that Yahuwah's Torah may be in your mouth. For with a strong hand have Yahuwah brought you out of Mizraim. So this is the key point, like what you just stated. Go ahead, Monte. Remember it. I mean, like you say, it's in your mind. That word for remembrance is going to be zakar. So you're going to remember that word. You're going to remember, because see, what that was. When I was talking to Brandon, he mentioned this, right, about he tried to, how many of y'all ever heard in your life that they say there's an age of accountability? Does not exist. Nowhere in the text does it say when you hit a certain age, you're accountable for your actions. It's not there. Now, what he was referring to was, well, he said 20 and under ain't accountable for nothing. I said, no, that's not what it said. What it says is nobody 20 and up was getting in the land. Everybody 20 and under was getting in. But then he was like, well, what about when it said that the children standing here with you who didn't know? Well, what it was referring to in that verse in Deuteronomy was, your sons did not see the wonders when you came out of Egypt. They didn't see the plagues. They didn't see the death of the firstborn. They did not see the crossing of the Red Sea. They didn't know any of that. It was your job to tell them of the wondrous works of Yahuwah. How does that relate now? Even though you did not lay eyes on the works of Yahushua, if you believe his testimony, it's your job to tell your son. See, I just seen a woman saying that the other day, you know, where recorded history was a woman sent to teach children. And what you, like I said, man, the word gymnasium come from Greek men touching on little boys while they was teaching them in the gym. We study ancient cultures. You'll see the men were the ones instructing. Women were never sent to instruct anyone about anything. At the end of the day, as a man, who would sincerely trust their wife to teach their son to prepare them for adulthood and to go out in the world? Who would really trust their wife to do that? Not a man with some sense. That don't even make common sense. We just read that in the text in Deuteronomy 6. Who he was telling to go teach? The woman or the men? Who had said it was supposed to teach them church? He wasn't talking to them women. He wasn't talking to the women. He was talking to the men. That's a man's job. That's a man's job to instruct. See, we done got in our minds because of Western culture that a man should just teach a woman can't teach in the church house. That's a man's place. Well, a man's supposed to teach everywhere he goes. You hear women say a man can't teach a woman to be a man. A woman to be a woman. You lying to me. Because who came up with the doctrine of how a woman's supposed to behave? Yahuwah did. Don't you realize the framework of how a woman conducts herself is consistent with the strength, masculinity, and leadership of her father? The weaker the father, the looser the woman. You know what I'm talking about? The absent the father, ain't no telling what you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all know, I observed this when I was in school. So I knew like this here, I got to make sure little Muffin know that at least I love her. Because I noticed every girl I went to school with that did not have a daddy was a stone cold whore and was out there looking for love and men's penises. You know what I'm saying? I observed that at an early age. Some of them were hoes intrinsically. That just was in them. They just was hoes. See, some of that stuff you just got to understand. Some women just hoes. Now I know some of y'all this gonna hurt your feelings. Every woman got hoe in them. See, when we talking about hoe in them, we ain't talking about slinging your boot everywhere. They like to get freaky. You know what I'm talking about? And certain men can bring that freak out of that woman because they all got it. And all y'all in here know it too. You roll your eyes all you want. Look how your husband looking at you. You can say, yeah. I brought it out. I did that 10 years ago. I brought it out. I mean, it's certain levels of hoe. You got a hoe mentality. She don't sleep around, but she got the mind of a hoe. She proud, she stubborn, she rebellious. You know what I'm talking about? Then you got the real hoe. The real hoe draws will drop if the wind blows. You can walk by and say, hi, want to have sex? That's a hoe. You look like that if you want it. It's a lot of them out here. Some of them, all you got to do is buy 2 pieces of the biscuit and a bottle of liquor, and she ready to go. I grew up with 2 girls who would walk up and down Beach Boulevard, and the first niggas to pull them over, they would get in the car and sleep with them. This is no lie. No exaggeration. I wish I was. You know what I'm talking about? How they live. Guess what? Somebody married both of them over. Little do they know. Them girls been gone loose since 1994. They were number 14 years old. They was out here. Shoot, I knew girls I went to school with. Boy, they were running trains on these girls, man. And guess what? Somebody married them. Kiss in the mouth every day. Some of y'all friends with women like that. Y'all what they were doing. You work with some. You know the biggest whores be them professional corporate women. Biggest whores. Y'all just don't want to be admitted like they said because you're like, I ain't no hoe. My friends ain't no hoe. They hoe. And you know it too. Women got freaky. Every woman like to get freaky. Like for niggas to grab on them and choke them and all that extra stuff. But some niggas don't pull that up. Look at Monica looking like this here. He ain't lying. And that's just the reality of it. You know what I'm talking about? But if her daddy's there, she gonna respect herself to find a decent man to do all that with. You know what I'm talking about? She ain't gonna be around here looking and searching. Our brother Kevin Chan was talking about this the other night, but it was funny. That nigga said women like to be with monsters. And he said what that is Frankenstein's monster. You want to take a piece of this type of man over here, and this type of man over here, and this type of man over here, and put them together to try to make this one perfect man who doesn't exist. And a lot of y'all single friends that y'all know, that's what they be doing too. Look, she's like, oh, my friend do that and we ain't got no man. That's how you look. She's shaking her head like, shoot, that girl just told me that Wednesday. Oh, all your friends married, huh? Man, I ain't talking about all that like this here, man. If you talk to them niggas on a regular basis, they got your name and number in your phone and vice versa, that's your friend. You talking about no. Nigga call your phone, that's your friend, nigga. You call their phone, that's your friend. Now, whether how deep your friendship is, that's a whole nother question. That's your friend. Ain't no such thing as an associate and nigga got your phone number. I don't know too many. Niggas don't give a niggas I associate with him my phone number. Cause that mean they might call you.
Get off. Move.
See, y'all women, y'all the only ones that do that give y'all phone numbers to people you don't want to talk to. See, a man is not giving his phone number to somebody he don't want to talk to. Y'all will give somebody their phone number, then be mad that they call.
Sit down. No.
Why he calling me? Well, nigga, that's what you gave his number for. That's what you thought he was gonna do. He thought it was cool. She thought it was cool. You gave them your contact information. Y'all weird, man. I'm definitely not giving a nigga my number I don't want to talk to. I'd be like, shoot, man, shoot. Holla at me on the book. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But your single friends, they got problems getting a man. Look at Monte. Yes. Monte say yes. What you mean? They ain't married. They got to have some type of problem. She got a problem. Like the women.
I mean, I can tell you. Yeah, it's never mattered.
That means something wrong with her. That means something wrong with her. I bet she's masculine. With you. You gotta ask who the niggas who she been with. One thing about it, you can't never take a woman's word for no interaction with no man. You gotta go talk to that man. She kind of what? That means something wrong with her. That means there's something wrong with her. She the common denominator to do. Stop being crazy. Is she masculine if she crazy? If she crazy, she masculine. You know what I'm saying? I seen Lil Muffin would listen to that video cover talking about being feminine. That junk was funny to me. Because he had said something I ain't never heard before. I had told Deep about it. That nigga said it's masculine for a woman to park in backwards. It was just fun. It was just funny to me because I had never heard that before. No, it's just a man thing. You know, women didn't really, like how she put it, women didn't really drive. So that wasn't something that they would do. Like she said, her daddy taught her to do that. But at the end of the day, yeah, he say that's a masculine trait. That nigga was like, if a woman curses, she masculine. Oh, she smoked. That's way past masculine. She had that ashtray mouth looking up. You know. I felt like that before the word, boy. She go to smoking. She smokes cigarettes. Ugh.
All right, auntie. You answered it, auntie.
But the worst thing they ever see is a beautiful woman with a Newport in her mouth. That's why some of y'all who used to smoke, that's why y'all used to hide. You didn't want nobody to see. Black and mild, you be like, oh no. I gotta give her mints before I kiss her. Shut me down. That's got to be the worst of it. That got to be the worst if a chick walk up to you. Let me get that short. Short me up. What else he said? Being combative, always wanting to fight. He was like that master, especially wanting to fight a man. This is what he said he like to do. That nigga said, if your hands stink, you ain't feminine. He said what he'll do is he'll take a woman's hand like he gonna kiss it. Smell it. That means he said a feminine woman, he was like, if I smell your hand, he said he'll, you know how dudes kiss a woman's hand? He said he'll grab a woman's hand like he gonna kiss it, but he said if it smell like anything other than skin. That nigga said, you ain't feminine. He said a woman keep her hands clean. He said a woman wash her hands, keep her hands clean. He ain't lied though. He ain't lied though. A feminine woman, if she done ate some food, she ain't even gonna smell her hands. She gonna go wash them. Look at Shadi. I said, I always wash my hands. He said, if it smell like garlic and onion powder, that nigga said, oh, she ain't this. I said, well, that boy. But you know how many holes out here hands smell like crab meat?
Crab meat and booty cheese. Cut cheese and eat crab.
Crab meat and booty cheese. What else he said? He said it's the other trick he said he like to do. He like to walk up to a woman and act like playing like he like, oh, you gonna park in my spot? You gonna park in my spot? That nigga said if she get like this here, yeah, nigga, what you gonna do? He said he know she ain't. Hey, that boy a fool, man. Hey, but that's a real, because he was saying a feminine woman would be like, oh, I'm sorry, versus a masculine woman, she gonna get it. Like, why? His point is, why are you getting aggressive with a man like you can whoop a man? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm 6'3", 225 pounds, and you 5'4", 140, you think you can whoop me? You know what I'm saying? That's his point. Because if you go back, because he always state that his grandma said she felt sorry. You know what I'm saying? They really want to be men. You know what I'm saying? You are the man. That's why ain't no good men out here, because you are the man. You've been what you've been looking for. That man don't want you. You what you've been looking for, sexuality every day. Am I gay? I don't know. I've been with a man for 3 years, but she's a lady. I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? But all that boiled down to, hey, let me ask you this here, Nisha. Your single friends, they daddy present? Are they daddies around? I said, of your single friends, are they daddies around? Are they strong men?
I don't know.
I ain't talking about your friends in the word. I'm talking, I done seen you several. But then she got a man. Is her daddy a strong man? He ain't no strong man. And it, that's her cousin, man. Can you give, anybody can get a man. No, the reason, because it's the point, right? Because
I was saying that she don't have no man. That's what my point. She's not married.
No. She has a man. She doesn't have a husband.
You said that man obligated to do nothing. You just your business, you know. Straight up.
That's the whole thing count. I don't think he's talking about having sex with her. That means she. How old is she?
30.
I'm gonna tell you like I said, right? If a woman, and I'm talking about husband, just anyone. If you talk about a woman probably start really fooling with dudes at 15, and now she about 30, and she been dealing half her life dealing with dudes, and ain't nobody chose her, oh, she gonna die alone. Nobody want that. Okay, you can play with it. I done told you this before. No, I'm just being dead serious. If you a good woman, ain't no man letting you slide. That's not happening. And then this too, right? This is where it come into play too, right? This is something that women don't do. That and this is a reality. This is what women mess up at. Let a nigga jump up and down in your guts. Let a nigga fool with you, and then you ask him, when are we gonna get married? Never do that. You supposed to let that nigga know before you took your panties off. That's what you want. First quarter. Not saying, are we gonna get married, but saying this is what I desire. And if that's not what that type of time he's on, again, that goes back to resist the devil, he'll flee from you. He gonna get missing because that's not what he looking for. Because if he a man and he looking to get married, he gonna let you know because he ain't trying to waste no time. I ain't trying to be with you no 3, 4. Man, look at me. It don't take no man no 4, 5 years to figure out if he want to marry you. He don't even got to live with you to figure that out. If that's what he desires to do. So if a nigga living, yeah, he's not gonna do it. You know that I can get them yams. You'll cook for me. You'll clean for me, and you ain't married me. He's not gonna do it. For what? For what? That'd be the other thing what women mess up at. If you didn't have sex before, you're a pre-owned vehicle, and then you want a nigga to treat you like you come fresh off the tanker. While you giving him that, no, he's not gonna do that. So you have to set that at the first call. You have to set that first call. Because I'm here to tell you, boy, it don't take no man no 4, 5 years to know he want to marry you. Nigga ain't married you. If a nigga ain't trying to marry you after 2 years, he don't want you. He don't want you. When you get to the 2-year mark, you're supposed to be looking at each other. So what we gonna do? Like straight up and down. It don't take 2 years to figure that out. But again, that's what your mind state is at. If your mindset is set on, I want to be married, because then you're going to be carrying yourself as a husband and carrying yourself as a wife. Not necessarily giving each other those benefits, but those attributes are going to be shown. And this woman going to know, I want to hitch myself to that wagon, or this man saying, I want her to get in the car with me. And a lot of us ain't told to do that. You just get with somebody and hope we get married at the end of it. And then you don't waste it 10, 15 years of your life. Because I done heard too many stories about people who've been with somebody 6, 7, 8 years and not got married for what? And live with each other. Come on, man. That don't even make common sense. I told you I ain't never believed in that. What am I live with a woman for and take care of her like my wife but not marry her? I'm a special type of stupid. No, you're going to stay in your own house and I'm going to stay in my house. Because if I'm going to do all that, then I'm going to marry you. You got dudes who not married to women. That woman a stay-at-home mother. Why is she not your wife? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. And that only happens because you're not told to do that. That woman is told that her worth is not enough to state in the beginning, I desire to be married. A man doesn't value his time and his resources enough to look that woman in the face and say, this is what I want. And if that's not what, you know, that'll cut out a lot of time of people being in meaningless and worthless relationships. If you know you want to get married, to let that be known first quarter. But you know what people want to be known first quarter? And I play with the genitals, I put them in my mouth.
I like to. We talk actually really we talk about the academy drive. I like to nurse that. Why did I nurse?
I can tell you why. I just told you why they're not married. Number one, he been hit. So now they live with each other, right? Why would he marry her? She's not worthy to be married. And then he's a special type of stupid. Because you bought a house with a broad you not married to. Oh, you super stupid. You know what I'm talking about? Like, but on top of that, though, I'm just telling you, every man in this room can tell you this. If I know I can sleep with you and live with you, it's the old saying that the old black ladies used to tell you. Why buy the captain milk free? Why would he do that? There's no incentive. There's no reason for him to do it. Because I'm telling you, if a man wants to marry you, he is going to let that be known. You ain't even got to be in the word for that. Sinner or not, if a man wants to marry you, he's letting that be known rather quick. Because truth be told, it don't really take a man that long. He just wants to make sure you're the right woman for him. Not the right woman, but the right woman for him. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people get messed up at. There's no such thing as a right man or a right woman. It's the right need. You know what I'm saying? And men can identify that rather quick. He's not going, and the only way that he's going to marry her is because she is going to put the pressure on him, and he don't want her then. Oh, he don't want her. He in his 40s? What'd he do for a living? He don't want her. He probably been married before. Yeah, he probably been married before. No, this is Paul. Hey, check this out. Do you know if he's been married before? Nisha, do you know if he's been married before? If he's that old and he don't want to marry her, he married her. If he take the step of they actually own the home or they rent the home. Oh, he don't want her. He only want her for one reason: somebody to cook him some meals, give him some butt, and keep his house clean. And he probably couldn't afford to pay for that house on his own. Because if they own the home, they probably split the bills. And if they split the bills, that means he didn't want to pay the cost to be the boss and dominate and rule. No, the reason why I say that is because if you saying this woman is masculine, that's a masculine job. That job title in itself, she's masculine. I don't have to meet her. She's a police officer. That's an authoritative position. That's a masculine woman. You can't just cut that on and off. I don't need nobody to tell me that. You just told me she's a police officer. You think she could cut the feminine switch off when she get off of work and be soft and dainty, and she been walking around with a pistol on her hip all day? Nigga, she come through the door. Spread her. Yeah, come on, man. No my nigga want no be with no rough, hard woman talking about she been chasing criminals all day. Nigga, you ain't never got a dress on. You always got pants. Then I seen pictures of her. She looking like Beetlejuice, all that makeup she put on her face. Not with that junk on her face, she ain't. I don't know how beautiful she is. I ain't never seen her without makeup. I don't doubt that because I said I'm not saying she ugly, but we don't know how beautiful she is. She got a layer of makeup on her face. That's how a man gonna look at it. I don't know how beautiful you are without the face paint. You know what I'm saying? What's your face look fresh out the shop? But I felt like that before hearing him. I don't know how pretty you are without makeup. You know what I'm saying? You can tell a woman look good without it, but you don't really know. I never did. Never liked weed, none of that. I'm from a different time.
I see makeup. I feel like that.
Come on to Joe 37 weekend. What you hide? What y'all think this means? Pause, right? Because we're gonna keep rolling the Joe for minute things. Right? In her situation, I don't think she would listen, but she would need a man to tell her, like, who she respected. You stupid. Now, see, that's the thing. You sit back and look at that. That's why. That's the thing, though. That's what a lot of young girls need to be told. Baby, you stupid. Because at the end of the day, a man shows you what you're worth to him based on what he does. And if all a nigga want to do is jump up and down in your guts, then you don't mean nothing to him. Because when you mean something to him, he's going to give you his last name. And he's going to seek to provide and protect for you. I done told you that before. Men just don't, only simps take care of women who are not worthy of being taken care If a man decides that he's going to take care of you, that means he's seen some value or worth that you possess, that he is willing to offer you his provision, that he slaves for with blood, sweat, and tears every day. See, y'all don't look at it that way because you don't really respect the labor that men put in to take care of their family because you're not out there doing it. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all not out there doing this, so y'all don't really get it. But ain't no man looking at like, shoot, I'm gonna just marry anybody and take care of them. But that's how women think. A woman will marry anybody. If she feel like there's a benefit that she can get out of it, she will marry anyone. She don't got to like it. I seen them show a woman a picture of a fit-looking broke man and a fat billionaire, and the woman wavered on which one she would choose because she was looking at the stability and the lifestyle she can get from the billionaire, even though he was physically repulsive. You ain't never heard no man just marry a woman just to marry her unless she had his kids. You know what I'm talking about? Then he'd marry. He don't even like her. You know what I'm talking about? Don't you know that's what they used to do back in the day? You came up pregnant and you wasn't married, you know what they would make you do? You go get married, well, because you had to like the nigga enough to skeet in you, so you're gonna like him enough to marry. That's how they felt. You know what I'm saying? That's how they felt, that's how they rolled. But see, now this is how things is in society. It's a woman will marry anyone. If there's a benefit for her, stick around, divorce him, and go on by her life. Janet Jackson married that dude just long enough to get the payday and cut him short right out. You think he married her like this? And he married Janet Jackson way past her prime. She wasn't Janet anymore. She was just Jackson. That lady was good, no. 50 years old. That's not Janet Jackson anymore. That's Miss Jackson. That's an old woman. You know what I'm saying? 50 years old. I seen that the other day. Kenya Moore, 46 years old. And you know the crazy part is, now I can take that back because Janet Jackson was married young too, though. But you have to look at that. All them beautiful women you see on TV, and ain't none of them getting married and keep no man. Something wrong with them hoes. Something wrong with them. Beauty don't mean nothing if they don't have a good spirit. See, a woman can have deficiencies in the area, but if she is willing to contribute to that man and she's cooperative and encouragement and inspiration to that man will deal with whatever she got and marry. Who can encourage and inspire and support and cooperate in this day and time is like a needle in a haystack. I've been doing all right. How you been doing? I've been telling you, if you really a good woman, boy, ain't no man letting you get away. They're not gonna let you get away. They're not gonna let you get away. One thing I can say is a lot of women overinflate their value. You're not really as good as you think you are. Now that's also contingent on your age and how you were trained. Because one thing I know about women, it's hard for them to change once they get older. Once they get in their late 20s, early 30s, oh, it's a wrap. They are who they are. They're not changing. They're not changing. Not for no man. They're not going to adapt for a man. They're not going to do that. If she a nasty woman in her 20s, she's going to be a nasty woman in her 30s. The only thing that's going to cause them to change is when they realize, I'm going to be alone. Because we all know when women don't want to be alone. Two men don't want to be alone. It's just the fact that a man don't want to be with a woman he got to fight with every day. He don't want to deal with that. Why do you think a lot of these dudes alcoholics and drug addicts? Yes. Why you think, consequently why a lot of women are drunks? Because they sad. And a lot of them sad because they ain't got no man. Because at the end of the day, what did Yahuwah create you for? He created you to be a mother and a wife. Your purpose is instilled in being a helpmeet to a man and helping him raise kids. That's what you were made for. That's his will for every woman on the planet. To be with a man who's in the image of the Lord, to love you as the Lord loved Yasharal, and for you to bring forth his children and to nurture them. That's the beauty of the will of Elohim. Because I've been felt like this, and she'd tell you that. Why would you want if you got a business, you should want your woman to work in your company. That's what you should desire. And you should make sure that she can be able to assist and benefit your business in any way possible. And she should also have the desire to do it. And in turn, if she had a business idea, if she was any type of woman, her business idea would be able to help benefit what she was already doing. And you should not be fearful as a man to send your woman to get some level of education that will increase your ability to be profitable in whatever it is that you're doing. Are you taking a loss if you sending her to be educated to do something you don't know how to do or you don't want to do? Why would you hire an outside person to do it when you got a whole wife? You know what I'm talking about? You got a whole wife and you gonna hire an outside nigga to do it when she can do it? It's like this here. If your wife would know how to make websites, why she ain't making yours? If she's an accountant, why she ain't keeping your books? If she knows how to do marketing, why she not marketing for you? And if you don't know how to do marketing, why hire an outside person to do it when you can send your wife to do it, and then you can sit back and take the salaries and keep it in the company and not pay it to somebody else and stay in the family? Because I'm telling you, that's what the white folks do. That's what they do. Job 37, though, right? Verse 7. He says, right, seal up the hand of every man that all men may know his work. Come over here to John 14 so you can see that where every man knows his work, why he seal him up. Through 14 and 18. And see, for most of y'all in here, y'all already know that because most of y'all don't work. Well, it's a lot of women guys like this here. They wish they could stay home. See, only the masculine women be talking about, what about my hopes and dreams? They be like, shoot, my hopes and dreams would have said right here and let this nigga take care of me. And since he's taking care of me, I'm gonna take care of him. John 14 and 18, I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you. Yet a little while the world see me no more, but you see me because I live, and you shall live also. At that day you shall know that I am in Abba, and you in me, and I in you. He that have my commandments to keep them, he it is that love me. And he that love me shall be loved of my Abba, and I will love him, and will manifest myself to him. Judah saith unto him, not Israel, Lord, how is it you will manifest yourself unto us, and not unto the world? Yahushua answered and said unto him, if a man love me, he will keep my word. My Abba will love him, and we will come unto him and make our abode with him. So you see what happens, right? If you get the Ruach, what has occurred? You would be sealed, would you not? Do we need to read Ezekiel 8 for that? Or y'all got the gist of it? What? Oh, so you don't have the gist. No, I heard it, but I'm saying you don't have the gist. Michael, you got the gist? So you don't have the gist either. Come on, Ezekiel chapter 8. Why you keep calling me, boy? Why you keep calling me, boy? Why is you calling me, boy? Huh? You hurt your nose? Sit down. Ezekiel 8 info. And behold, the esteem of the Elohim of Yasharal was there, according to the vision that I saw in the plain. I don't think we need to read all that. No, we don't need to read all that. No, I need chapter 9, not 8. That's why I wasn't seeing what I wanted. Ezekiel chapter 9. You can pick it up at verse 1. Do y'all know the other place where it talks about the Elohim seal people in their forehead? It's in the book of Revelations. It's in 2 places in the book of Revelations. Can anyone tell me where those 2 places are? Children, be quiet. Is it chapter 7? Not Revelation. It is in regards to what? That one or what's the other one? In regards to what? Sit down. Nah, Revelation I think it's 8 or 9. He said to put a mark in the foreheads of the men and to not bring any destruction on the earth, but to destroy everything in the earth except those who had the seal of Elohim in their forehead. He went to dropping them plagues or vials or whatever it's referred to. Those men. Say don't hurt the grass, the sea, or the water. No, nobody who got the seal of Elohim in their forehead. I mean, if you got the Ruach, got to go back to Psalms 91. Though 10,000 people die around you, they won't come to your door. Because the name of Yahuwah is a strong tower. Chapter 9, verse 1. He cried also in my ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them to have charge over the city to draw near. Even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand. Sit down. And behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate, which lie towards the north. Every man a slaughter weapon in his hand. One man was clothed with linen, with a writer's inkhorn by his side, and they went in and stood beside the brazen altar. The esteem of Elohim of Yasharal was gone up from the chair, whereupon he was to the threshold of the house, and he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side. And Yahuwah said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that are done in the midst thereof. And go, and the others he said in my hearing, go you after them through the city and smite. And let not your eyes spare, neither you have you pity. Kill utterly, old, young, maids, little sons, women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary, and they begin at the ancient man, which were before the house. Well, if you ain't got that ruach, boy, you good as dead, boy. And boy, you notice that who he said not to spare? See, that goes back to what I was telling you beforehand about ain't no age of accountability. He said kill everybody. Little kids, babies, and all. And you know who got them babies killed? You did. Your disobedience got them babies killed. You know what I'm talking about? But see, a lot of people don't want to hear that. What type of God would kill babies? The type of God who do it. You got a problem with it, you go take it up with him and you tell him how much you don't like it. It's easy to talk trash when he's a good distance away. Go look him in his face on Judgment Day and tell him how much you had a problem with it. Because I ain't got no problem with it. I can't speak for other people. Anybody feel like that's wrong? Because see, I don't feel like it's wrong. And you know why I don't see that as wrong? Because he told you that when you made the covenant with him in the wilderness, that's what he would do. Is that not what he did? Did he not say that? Did your forefathers not agree to that? So that's what you signed up for. Because he said he punished to the third and what? Fourth generation. Visited iniquities of the fathers unto the sons. So that's what they agreed to. They said everything you said, we'll do it, did they not? So when he made that attestation, they didn't say they had a problem with it. They said we agree. So that's your parents' fault. Take that up with them. Revelation chapter 8, I believe. It might be 9. It might be 9. Make sure I'm in the right spot. Oh, that's it. There we go. Chapter 9. I was right the first time. 9 and 1. Remember, the word for work is Mashal. So when he say he set the seal upon their hand that they might know his work, that means you know the wonderful works of Elohim, which means you know the gospel. When he seal you with the Ruach, what did he say? They will all know me, right? From the least to the greatest. When he talking about knowing him, he wasn't talking about knowing his laws because you knew the laws before he gave the Ruach. I heard a man say literally that the Ruach learning the laws was revelation. That ain't no revelation. Don't you know all you got to do is pop open Genesis to Deuteronomy, you can read the laws? That's not a revelation. Y'all know what it is to reveal something, right? That's to show something not known. The law is known. That's not a revelation. Revelation chapter 9 and verse 1. The fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him that was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, and as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, nor any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of Elohim in their foreheads. Which takes us back to what we read in Deuteronomy 6, which takes us back to what we read in Exodus 13, that if you don't have the seal, because what did he tell you in Ephesians, right? To not grieve the Ruach HaKodesh by which you have been sealed. Or Katham. Once you've been sealed with the Ruach, that means Elohim is in you. You good. But the key is to get sealed with it. But once you get sealed with it, you're in a good place. Because ain't no evil going to touch. We're in the Psalms 91 with our reference and calling it a day right now. Because I ain't going to get to the rest of that stuff. It's already 5 o'clock. And it's just time to call that a day. Well, who in that moment like that? Been paying that Mordecai? That's Mordecai. Oh, that's Malik then. Psalms 91. Oh, you get the seal by believing on Yahushua, as the scripture has said, and then obeying the word by keeping his instructions. But you get sealed by the word of faith, by believing the gospel. That's what gets you sealed. Remember what he told Mary when she washed his feet? You remember what he told them? What told his apostles anyway about Mary? Who recalls what he said? Oh no, that's a different place. I'm talking about when she washed his feet. That's when they were served. Huh? What you saying? That's a different place. You talking about something else. She anointed his head. He just mentioned when she did that, he said, this woman's sins who are many, they are forgiven. Because she loved much. Her faith got her saved. Her faith got her saved. No, the faith comes, that's why you get immersed. See, before you get immersed, the faith has to already be established. Then you get immersed. That's what Sister Stephanie just asked. She thought that the sealing came from just getting immersed. But the seal comes because you heard the gospel, you believed it, and then you get immersed in his name. That's where the seal come in at. That's what you always see in the script. Even with them coming up out of Egypt. What did they hear first? In Exodus 4, didn't Moses and Aaron show them signs? Didn't they get word first? Then they got baptized. When they came into the land walking across Jordan, and Yahushua them hit them off with the word first, and then they walked. Matter of fact, he circumcised them first before they walked through that wall. They heard that word first, and then they went. You know what I'm saying? So it's the hearing of the word before the washing of the flesh. Without the hearing of the word, that's why you see that in regards to Acts with them Gentiles. When the Ruach fell on them, the Ruach fell on them because they heard the word. And they believed it. And then Peter said, well, what hinders them from being immersed? He said, nothing. And they went and did it. When you see the Ethiopian eunuch, what came first? The word always comes first. Because the act of the immersion means nothing without the word. After that, you just got some wet drawers, got to change your clothes. That's it. Oh, you stuck? You captured? Oh, you just having a bad day. Psalm 91. He that dwell in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of Yahuwah, he is my refuge and my fortress, my Elohim, in whom I will trust. Surely he shall deliver me, you from the snare of the fowler and from the noise of pestilence. He shall cover you with feathers, and under his wings shall you trust. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. You shall not be afraid for the terror by night, nor the arrow that fly by day, nor for the pestilence that walk in darkness, nor for the destruction that waste at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Only when your eyes shall you behold and see the reward of the wicked. Because you have made Yahuwah, which is my refuge, even the Most High, your habitation. There shall no evil befall you, neither shall any plague come nigh your dwelling. And what happened in Egypt should let you know that that is accurate. For he shall give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. They shall bear you up in their hands, lest you dash your foot against the stone. That's why you seen them come down and strengthen Yahushua. If you think these Malachians ain't doing the same thing in these days and times, you lying to yourself. A lot of times, if you felt yourself getting out the way, that's that Malachim to go ahead and steer you right back in the way that you're supposed to go. And you know how we know that? When you look at Balaam. Because what was that ass trying to do? Get up out the way. What kept him in the way? That Malachim. That's how you know that. It still goes on because he says his angels are ministers of flaming fire, and they're ministers to the heirs of salvation. So that means he has what people like to call guardian angels, what he came up with. It's really in regards to how you seen that with Daniel, with Gabriel. If you are to inherit everlasting life, then there are Malachim that are with you. Because their job is to serve you to make sure that you inherit what you're supposed to get. That's their job. It's not like a guardian angel protecting you from death, because it's Yahuwah protecting you from death. The angels are just the ones that facilitate that. But at the end of the day, their job is to be servants to those who are to inherit everlasting life. That's their job. You shall tread upon the lion and the adder, the young lion and the serpent shall you trample underfoot. Because he has set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high because he has known my name. Remember what Yahushua said in John chapter 17? I have declared your name and they have believed it. When you declare the name of Yahuwah, remember what you're declaring. Yahuwah Elohim. Abundant in goodness and truth. Remember that? Mercy. Forgiving iniquity. That means you're going to believe the witness of his son, because that's what the son came and manifested. That's how you know his name. You don't know his name because you got Yahuwah on a chain, on a t-shirt, on a headband. I don't mean you know that man. That's not what that means. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. And with long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. See, when you know the Father, what he said, no man can come to the Father but by the Son. The Son is going to reveal the Father to you. That's why you will call on his name, and that's why he will save you. And you can't get that unless Yahushua was the man who heard and speaks constantly. Not necessarily your heart will be smitten, but the word's gonna smite your heart, not the angel. If you finna get out of the way and you get convicted in your heart, that's the word did that. Hopefully the fear of Elohim. But everybody don't possess that. So hallelujah for Yahweh the word. We will stop right here. I appreciate y'all patience again. At this point, it didn't get that bad towards the end. At this point, I think it's the laptop. But who are willing, we'll pick it up on Wednesday. Keep it rolling, keep it moving. And again, I bless y'all out the house of Yahuwah in the name of Yahushua. Appreciate you. And y'all willing till the next time. Get on. Well, you can Goodbye. Boy.
Goodbye. Bye. Bye.